Hi guys, my name is Kylee Reinert. I am a junior at Grand Valley State University. I am in the advertising and public relations program here, and I'm emphasizing in advertising with a minor in psychology. And while I've been here, I've gotten involved in a couple different clubs, the first one being Public Relations Student Society of America, and also its student-run public relations firm, Grand PR. And today I just wanted to talk to you guys about the concept of personal branding. So most of you are probably a little confused as to what exactly that means. You might have heard of branding before, which is kind of the idea of just how a company makes a reputation for themselves. They do this through things like using certain colors, certain pictures, and like the way they take them for their advertisements. Even like logos that are very easily recognizable is all a way of branding, and that's just how they have chosen to kind of talk about themselves to the public and like portray them and just make it such a recognizable thing for like everyday people. So some examples I thought of that were like Ford. They're very like American built, like tough, like durable kind of cars, like you know. And another one I thought of was Coca-Cola. So it's always the red, the very specific logo and font that they use. Everyone's pretty happy, just enjoying themselves in all their commercials, and you kind of like you understand like the whole idea they're going for. And another one was Apple. So Apple is very sleek, very like tech based, obviously, but everything they do is very simple and clean, but it works. Now each of these companies is very different from one another. Like Ford couldn't do some simple little sleek advertisement like Apple does, and it wouldn't make sense, So just like all these companies do, everyone should try to brand themselves basically. So that means taking like your skills, your experiences, and details of like even your personality into account, and just knowing how you want to portray them to people and using them to make a strong reputation for yourself basically. You just want to know what you're good at and really sell yourself on those things, both like in person when you're meeting like professors and future employers at job interviews, and then on paper too with like your resume and business cards and things like that, like a website portfolio. So for example, like for me, I want to go into copywriting, which is a specific job position within advertising. And that involves writing like blogs and newsletters and all of just the words and content that you see that brands put out basically. So for me, that means I want to make sure everything I write is very well written. My resume is written in a way that kind of sounds like me, yet professional. All my emails I send out are well written, that kind of thing. And it's also on my resume, I want to let people know that this is what I want to go into. I want something that involves writing, and that I want this copywriting position, not just whatever. I'm not like right now I'm looking for an internship. I'm not going into it just I'll take whatever. Like, no, this is what I'm good at, and I kind of want something to do with this. And yeah. Another thing is like even down to the little things. Like I use yellow whenever I can because I would say I'm a pretty like optimistic, positive person. Like all my friends describe me as that. So it's just something like a warm little kind of color that you might, kind of gives off when you meet me. So why not like translate that into my resume so that when people are reviewing that and then they meet me, they say like, oh, that makes sense. She like branded herself well. So basically, in summary, you just want to always be yourself and be consistent with this as well, because you don't want to portray yourself one way on paper and then when you're sending that resume to someone, you don't want it to like come across as two different people. You know, people are not going to really understand who you are, and they're going to leave like that interaction kind of being like, huh? You want people to really get a sense of who you are, what you can do, and how you're going to like not help them, but in a sense like what you can do for them. Yeah, so personal branding is basically just putting yourself out there in the best way that you can while always being authentic and just being you. Thanks, guys.